Stas, has all the turf war stuff this week been a distraction for you and the girls?
Not really, because we're very rarely here. So all our training's done over at Yeronga, apart from one session a week here downstairs. So, yeah, I mean, for little logistical things about where interstate families fly to and all that sort of stuff, it's probably been that, but we put that to bed pretty early in the week.
Would it be disappointing if the grand final was moved?
As long as it's in Queensland, from a playing and coaching perspective, we just want it in our home state. But, you know, plans are obviously well ahead to, you know, play it here. The club's fully behind it. It's getting closer and closer. So, yeah, hopefully we won't be disappointed.
You've been out there, Stas. Have you seen the other day? Do you feel like you can play on it in a week's time?
Well, I'm not Kev or a turf expert.
You've been around footy a long time, though, and you know what a good surface and a bad surface is.
It's I'll tell you what, some of the ones that we used to play on at a stadium in Melbourne back in 15 years ago, it's well ahead of that.
And the AFL have had to look at it, and they reckon it's all right too. One of their boys, yeah.
I haven't seen the outcome of that one, so yeah, I assume that they've had a good look and ticked it off, but yeah, I haven't heard the result of those discussions yet.
It sounds like you're pretty confident in what we're hearing. It's going to be here, and that will be fantastic, wouldn't it? Just would be great to have it here.
Oh, it'd be great for our team. It'd be great for the broader AFL female playing contingent in Brisbane and Queensland, just to see how quickly it's grown and something for the young kids to aspire to and all those sorts of things. So friends and family and everything around the footy club as well would be a great boost for everyone.
Looking at this week, if you win, it's the perfect season other than the grand final. Did you ever think that would be a possibility when you sort of sat down to look at the season?
To be honest, probably no. I mean, you go in very, you obviously think every week you can win, but then realistically going through the draw at the start of the year and having a look at all the travels and all those sort of obstacles and a bit of adversity, they've coped with it beautifully. So yeah, I think it's exceeded our expectations. But when you get a team together and they start playing well together, anything's possible. So yeah, probably happy with the way things have progressed. We've got a really tough opposition this week, who I had pegged for top two. And they've got most of their group back together. So it's going to be a tough one Sunday afternoon to finish the 7 games.
Is it hard for the girls to stay focused knowing that they have already secured the home grand final? You want to take confidence and momentum into the grand final. You don't want to flirt with form, but it's still going to be tough to sort of stay on track, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought that coming into Wednesday night's training, but they were super on Wednesday night with their focus. Our 5 leaders have been very strong on, no, we want to knock over every game as it presents. And that's super news as far as our coaching group goes, to know that those 5 strong leaders that we've got out there are really hell-bent on making sure that every game's a successful outcome. So yeah, I must say I thought a bit your way early in the week, but to see them train and the energy and spirit that they've had all the way through being maintained was really pleasing.
Does the short break to the grand final then mean you'll mix things up this weekend and try and juggle the minutes to save some of the midfielders particularly, or some of the girls?
Mate, like every game I've ever been in, you hope that happens, but it never happens. You play it out to the end. In this competition, it's play it out to the end. We won't get the luxury. I'm convinced of that.
So there was no thought of resting players like Sabrina, who looked really sore last weekend?
Yeah, well, yeah, she's the most spoken about person in her group this week, and mainly because of that last shot on goal that she had in the last quarter, where she got up and looked sore. But she had a decent corky in the Adelaide round, and what happens when you take a corky into the following week? You get hit on it in the first couple of minutes, and that's exactly what happened last week out at Brendale. And then Monday night at training, she was running around like a gazelle. So it was like, wow, that's the best we've seen you move in 3 weeks. So, and she was hell bent on, I need to play, I need to keep playing. So, that's we're happy with that. The team's very focused on making sure that we get the result this weekend.
Just considering what you've achieved, the fact that you have the GF here, that's part of the prize, isn't it? Don't you think, to play at HQ, headquarters of the game in this state? Do you think that's where it should be, then therefore you deserve to be here?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, our boss came out and said that sort of 2-3 weeks into the season, that when it looked like a non-Melbourne club would be a chance to finish top, he sort of came out very quickly and said an interstate team should earn the right to host it, and he's held to his word, which is fantastic. And you know, it's one of those things about this brand new competition. Like historically, everything AFL has been Melbourne centric. Now we've got an opportunity to build a competition from scratch where you get a bit of you know, variety and a bit of you know, spreading the love, if you like, across the country. So you know, we've got no historical reason to keep playing grand finals in Melbourne. That's for sure. Whoever finishes top should host.
Just with this talk of compensation, if you don't get it here and stuff like that, if, you know, it sounds like a battle looming if things don't go quite the way you want them to go.
Haven't thought that far ahead, to be honest. As long as it's in Queensland.
Is it time for the Gabba to get drop-ins?
I love cricket. So I won't tell you my answer, but I love cricket. So that probably, I'm very keen to see what Glenn Maxwell does this afternoon. I'm very, very keen for him to make a ton. But you know, I worked here 10, 15 years ago. Had some good fun with Kev around those times, and we used to measure the hardness of the ground, all those sorts of things, and give him the results. So always had a really good relationship. Haven't seen Kev for a while, but had a good relationship back then.
Do you find it a bit funny? Do you think the general public out there finding it funny that we're talking about something that you've got to do now to affect something that's going to happen almost towards the end of the year? Do you find that the general public is sort of on your side? You're hearing that?
Probably when it gets explained, you got a better understanding. Like he doesn't get too many chances to fix something up after it's been damaged. So you know, he's got a fair point. So, but you know, we're all doing a lot of things here. I guess there's the first time a concert's been here for ever, maybe.
So you reckon Maxwell's going to get the century, or what?
I hope so. Hope he doesn't blow it with a reverse sweep or something like that. Yeah.